What is up, guys? It is Sunday night. Just finished food prep for the week, so got my lunches all set and ready. Ran through laundry today, all ready to go. So thinking a lot about the Sunday process and preparing for the week and just preparation in general. And I was listening to Jerry Seinfeld on the Tim Ferriss podcast from 2020. Episode number 480. And he was talking about the development of systems basically in order to achieve your goals. And I think it's pretty interesting, and ultimately I would say it aligns pretty significantly with what I do, right? It's the actions you take, I'm sure what some of us do. It's the actions you take and the processes you do that ultimately lead to the outcome that you desire, right? So I food prep on Sundays, I do laundry on Sundays, I have a running program 4 days a week, I have a bouldering program, or I go to the bouldering gym 3 days a week. And all of these things are set up and scheduled, and I execute in a way that helps move me towards my ultimate goals, right? I was also thinking about the connection of your systems to your identity, right? And your identity can just be thought of as a collection of these systems that ultimately lead you up to all the goals that you want to achieve, right? Typically, we don't want just to achieve one thing. Well, at least I don't, for sure. So, I want to achieve the right weight and ultimately body fat percentage, body composition. I want to get faster with running, all of this kind of tied in together. I want to get better and climb stronger, climb harder. I want to perform better in Spartan races. I want to develop and execute like a writing system that helps me improve my articulation and ultimately just improve my ability to communicate and my ability to put in some of these ideas in a way that might be helpful to others. I've taken me to a much better version of me, and I'd love to be able to articulate my ideas in a way that helps people be a better version of them. I mean, ultimately, that's what all of this is about. And what I think was interesting is the various systems that Jerry has and described and how those are useful for him. So, like I said, I do all my lunches on Sunday night. Sometimes I do all my lunches and dinners. This week I didn't because I had to switch up my system because the grocery store changed their offerings. So ultimately I'll have to make a couple tweaks, revise it, and get it to where it's flowing again naturally. Probably will be introducing some other styles of meat back into my diet just because of what the store is now offering, and needing or preferring to go with a lean meat variety. I can't get a 96.4 beef right now. I'm gonna have to either source it somewhere else or just ultimately change. So picked up some pork tenderloins. Now, that being said, I do that to make my life easy throughout the week and to eliminate any decisions and to eliminate any possible deviations, right? Or going to the restaurant, going out to eat, getting burritos because I love me some burritos, or ultimately just trying to sustain and have everything I need in order to basically keep my nutrition where it needs to be throughout the week. And to also simplify any of the other nights wherever possible to make sure that if I go work out, like I'm still gonna have a dinner ready. Like at no point should I really be faced, or very, very seldom am I faced with a decision about what to eat, which makes it very easy for me to eat right. Additionally, like having a set up running program and understanding on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, I'm going to be running, and already basically having laid those out into a calendar, making sure my running clothes are ready by doing my laundry regularly. Sometimes if I need to make a tweak or if I need to be really prepared, then I'll set my stuff out. Just eliminating that friction, discussed that before. It's an incredibly important concept, right? Setting aside and understanding when I'm going to dedicate time and energy towards a task. If I don't do that, then ultimately I'll usually kick that task down the road, or ultimately sometimes not even get to it. So we're procrastinated all the way to the last possible moment. So I think that this is the interesting aspect is, starting with whatever works. Today, in recovery from the race and the rolled ankle's feeling a lot better today. I iced it yesterday, got some ibuprofen, might take some ibuprofen tonight to help reduce that swelling. I did go for 2 or 3 walks today to make sure I got my movement in, which that's how I started really successfully on the journey that I've been on now. I've done several fitness journeys, and ultimately they all end 6 to 12 months later. I've been on this one for about 2 years now, 2.5 years, somewhere in there, in which I started pretty small, walking pretty consistently, lifting weights 2, 3, 4 days a week, starting at beginner levels with really light weights, just making sure, putting my ego aside and shooting for consistency. Starting with whatever works. You want to create and develop a system that's functional before you go and try to improve or perfect it. Right? Oftentimes I think that we're looking for the perfect system or trying to develop the perfect system without ever executing anything. And really that's just an exercise in mental masturbation or procrastination, really. Analysis paralysis. You could sit and try to design the perfect system, but ultimately you're not going to get there because you don't really know what tweaks need to be made. It happens entirely with iteration. And so what are the collection of systems, the collection of goals, and thereby all the different things that you want to set up? I don't think you need to create the master grid of who you want to be unless you've already started that process. Like, it shouldn't be overwhelming. Again, like I said, start with what works, start with what's functional, start with what helps you progress towards where you want to be. So, I mean, obviously that first goal is a functioning system. We can work to perfect it from there. Interesting to note that, like, sometimes patience is absolutely required in the pursuit of our goals, in daily life, in a lot of different regards. And the only time you can exercise patience is in the moments where you need to be patient. So it could be ultimately terribly frustrating, but I would say to practice patience whenever possible. I have been a historically terribly impatient person. I think I've come a long way. I still have some tendencies sometimes to be impatient, mostly when I get anxious about other issues. But I've really striven, one of those words. I've really made a lot of changes in order to try to chill out a little bit relative to that. Still kind of always in a hurry with a sense of urgency, but a lot of things take a lot of time to improve. Real problems take time to solve, and as long as you're putting in the daily actions, I anticipate that you will solve them someday. So keep at it, keep trucking, design some systems towards your ends. The routines, the standard processes that you're gonna go through week by week, day by day, month by month, it's gonna enable your success. I think it is a way to think about it that is incredibly useful. It has been useful for me, so I hope it is useful for you. Other than that, have a safe rest of your night and enjoy your day.